Many times people have asked me what they should do if they're pulled over by a police officer under the suspicion of driving under the influence, or DUI. The law in Tennessee keeps changing in that area. However, very few people know that there are certain things you can do or refuse to do when a police officer asks you to perform a field sobriety test. If you're suspected of a DUI, the police will ask you to step out of the car, and they will be interested in trying to perform certain tests to see if you're under the influence. One of the tests is considered a field sobriety test, and another one of the tests is a blood alcohol test. These are two different tests. The law in Tennessee says that if you refuse to take a blood alcohol test and the judge determines that you refuse to take the test, the judge shall revoke and suspend your license for a year. However, very few people know that the field sobriety tests that the officer asks you to take are subject to refusal without penalty. In other words, if an officer asks you to stand on 1 foot and count to 30, you can refuse to do so without any penalty. If an officer asks you to stand and walk a straight line, or other field sobriety tests that are similar, you can refuse to do those tests. There is no penalty for refusing to do those tests. My advice has always been that if you are sober and you have not had any alcohol, then take the blood alcohol test, because it will show that you are sober. Of course, if you've had a lot to drink, you may think twice about taking that test. But keep in mind, you can always refuse the field sobriety test without any penalty.